This is the view from my balcony on Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas. We're just coming into the dock. In fact, the captain's pushing us over up against the dock. Just about sunrise in the port of Charlotte, Amalie and St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It looks like it's going to be a pretty day. You can see the harbor area. So welcome to this week's edition of Traveling with a Chair. Hopefully you guys can see and hear us good for once. We've had our share of troubles the last couple of times, so hopefully you guys are where you can see and hear us. Do me a favor, if you can, go ahead and smash the like button so we can get some feedback. That helps, so we'll know what's going on. And I'm working with a couple of different monitors here. To start with, we'll ask the question we always ask: where are you watching from?
Oh, hi, Pam.
And Pam made it this week. We're glad to have you here, Pam. Nice of you to be here.
We missed you a couple weeks.
Yeah. So again, if you can hear me, hit the like button so we know. I'm hoping everybody can hear this week. We should have everything working. That's my expectation anyway.
We those that don't know, he's Ken.
She's Cheryl.
And we're at our home office, and we are really glad to be home after a month of traveling.
And so we have a lot of things we're going to talk about today. To start with, I would encourage everybody, if you have any questions during the show or suggestions for videos, please put them in the chat. And we are going to be showing some pictures and some other information from our trip.
Good. Glad we sound good.
Yeah, thanks, Pam, for the feedback there. And let's see. So we'll start with, we're going to talk about a little bit about Valiant Lady. We'll talk about the food and the internet. I'm going to we're going to talk about internet to start with. We'll talk about that on Prima too, because the two ships we're really going to focus on today are the Prima and the Valiant Lady. They're both contemporary ships, both kind of targeting the same audience. And there's some interesting differences, some similarities. To start with, though, the internet on Valiant Lady was really good until we got south of Cuba, or south of the Dominican Republic. We had great internet. Everything worked fine. We're Starlink. I was getting like 8 meg up and down. It was perfect. I expected our shows to go off without a hitch. And then we got farther south and the internet faded out really quickly and got really bad. But let's talk now about the food, because Valiant Lady is very different when it comes to food. So what are some of the differences, Cheryl?
Well, it does not have a buffet where you just go and pick the foods out of bowls. They do have grab and go section where you can just grab a box and go to eat. They do have things that would be normally seen on a buffet, but you get a menu. You're allowed. You can go around and look at it all. Then when you sit down, a waiter or waitress will come and bring you a menu, and you order from that, and they will go to all these different little food court like places and pick up what you want. So if you want Mexican and an American salad, or you want fried eggs and a taco, you can do that. They have like a American diner breakfast all day section there. They had tacos. They had a dessert bar, the salad bar. I'm trying to think of all of them. And
they
a
had
food
a
bowl.
Panini place.
Paninis, sandwiches,
hamburger place.
They have great avocado toast I think it's all day long when they're open. They also have a little popsicle stand there, homemade. I think they make their own fruit pops that look really good. I've never got one yet. I have to go back.
Yeah, they have what they call a bento restaurant. In the morning, it's like Tupperware containers of fruit, And then later in the day, it'll be Tupperware containers of different kinds of sushi. I tried the fruit several times, and they typically had really good fruit. And the fruit you find in the dessert bar. But I think I have a picture. Let me find it here and get it ready, and then I'll share it with you, because there were some things that were kind of interesting that we got served. So let me share the screen.
Oh yeah, this is in the test kitchen. The test kitchen. This was one of the plates that we got. They have several meals in the test kitchen, and both times, Valiant Lady and Scarlet Lady have the same restaurants, but now they've changed the test kitchen where they have more meals that you can try. But the day that we were able to get in, it was the same that we ate before.
Pam likes food,
and it was good. Oh yeah.
Okay, so this was kind of interesting. This is in the test kitchen, and we're looking straight down at the top of filet mignon that was cooked to perfection. But when they presented, I think the concept of the beet juice all over the plate is that you've slaughtered this poor animal on the plate. I think that's the impression it gives. But anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. But the food there, with the exception of one dish, and we'll have some food reviews coming in videos. With the exception of one dish, the food on board was very good. The one dish that they served in the test kitchen was an appetizer, and last time when it was served it was like a slow cooked egg yolk, which looked like a raw egg yolk, but apparently was safe to eat. And I chopped it and I mixed it with my peas and I choked it down. This time I just pulled the peas away from the egg yolk and ate them.
Yeah, I think
because it was not my.
I think a lot of people felt that way about that one, but the rest of the food was really good. I will say that on a regular cruise ship, when you have regular dining rooms, which Valiant Lady does not have a regular dining room, they just have different restaurants. And so they don't have a regular dining room that changes menu every day. So they have a lot of different, like the food court area, and they have other restaurants. Yeah, so it's the same menu pretty much through the whole week for each restaurant. I mean, like each restaurant has its own menu, but those menus do not change for the week.
Yeah, so they have Razzle Dazzle, which is a
vegan forward.
Yeah, vegan forward. Kind of vegetarian, but they have stuff for people like me that want some meat. They have Italian. They have a steakhouse that was excellent. The steakhouse it's called The Wake. It sits right at the aft of the ship overlooking the wake. And it really is as good a steakhouse as I've eaten on any of the premium restaurants and the other ones.
And you can eat their breakfast and lunch. They have a lot of different menus for breakfast and lunch, more than most cruise ships, I would say.
Yeah. So anyway, the food was really good. I did want to share, I've got a little clip because the entertainment on board is interesting. I'll share, I have, let me go back up here and share my screen again in just a second. Let me find that. So here's a couple of pieces of the entertainment I thought I'd share. I'm going to share the audio so you can hear it. So anyway, that was one of the live bands they had. I got to figure out how to make that go full screen. I'll make it full screen next time. Stop sharing.
It was a really good band. You couldn't tell from that. It was in the atrium area where there's a bar there and steps that go up in a circle. So several layers of or tiers of flooring that people can sit around it and listen and watch. And they were very good. Oh, and here's another one.
I'm going to give you one in just a second here.
This was a cappella group that travels around the world, and they were fantastic. They got a standing ovation from everyone in the audience when we were there.
Yeah, sorry. Let me go back and share that one. Well, let me hold on. Let me stop sharing screen for a second. And go back and do it right. Ken, share screen, share system audio. Okay. Get that button out of the way. Anyway, that one was,
These are
yeah.
little shorts. You can't tell, but they were fantastic. Two of the performers in that cappella group did all the instruments, and you really couldn't tell there wasn't a band behind there. It was amazing. The other three did the vocals. It was very, very good. And that show was not on the Scarlet Lady. You have to get the Valiant Lady to get that.
Oh, I have one more showpiece I'll share. Let me find it. And then we'll take a quick look at some of the islands. There was one other thing that I thought was.
Oh yeah, the ship show. Yeah, this is a ship show. It's a variety show. They had a number of different acts. They were all quite interesting. A little bit more on the adult side, but we didn't
Not
think
bad.
But we didn't think it was in bad taste. It was more artistic.
Okay. So I'll share that. Yeah, there we go.
They were actually pretty fun to watch.
Anyway, so let me stop the share here. But the shows on board Valiant Lady were really good. I was really thought they were just very well done. I couldn't have.
We skipped one or two.
We skipped. I mean, there's some we don't go to because of the. And Pam loved the song. Yeah. So Pam's happy already. Food and music.
Oh yeah, the cappella group was singing songs all the way from Ray Charles right up to hip hop. It was amazing.
Yeah, they did the Beatles, they did the Stones. When they did the Beatles, they did the lead singer did all of four voices. They did Queen, like I said, Ray Charles. They did some country. It was
a full hour show. It was excellent, and we can't promise it'll be on there next week. I mean, that's just what was there when we were there, but that gives you an idea of the quality of the shows they put on.
I will say though that the food served there, the appetizer was apparently beef tartare and some kind of mystery seafood that was probably raw as well. I ate a little bit of both. Cheryl didn't want any part of it.
The ship show, we got in late. Get there early for the shows, always on every ship, but on the ship show, for sure, in order to order what you want to eat, because the show had started, so they just kind of whispered, "You want, the main entree, this or that," and then we just picked, and they guessed on the rest. So they, it was our fault for not getting there early.
But anyway, so that was really, like I said, we really enjoyed it. I do have the first stop that we made was St. Croix. And I will say this about St. Croix is that the island is beautiful. The water is incredible. There are the port that at least that Virgin Voyages uses. There are no accessible tours, taxis, transfers. There's an area outside the port. And I've got a picture or two of Cheryl here. So let me share this one. There we go. So this was Cheryl. You can see the ship in the background. I thought this would show the water better, but it doesn't. But she was on her wheel scooter, which we loved. It worked really well. You can see she's got the 3D camera mounted to the scooter. So there's lots of stuff that I filmed in 3D coming. Let's see.
Forgot how we got over there from where we were.
Oh, we rolled down. We came out of the port, go right, and you can get to this long walkway down there. This gives you an idea how clear the water is. You can look out there and see just how beautiful it is. There was not much waves. We were trying to time it to get some spray in the air, but the water is crystal clear. It's just gorgeous. There were people scuba diving right off of the port of the area just outside the pier, and you could snorkel there. So that was really cool in St. Croix.
There was a turtle coming up to the ship, and everybody was running over to get a picture.
Yeah, this is a picture of turtle. I actually have a little video that'll show up as a short on the channel, but he was right there, and he was kind of looking around to see what we were doing. We were between two ships there, and he was checking things out. Again, like I said, the water's just as pretty water as I think I've ever seen. Let's just go through pictures while I'm here. Oh, that's the band. Okay, so this is Bimini. Well, we'll get kind of ahead of ourselves a little bit, but this is the island of Bimini, and again, beautiful, beautiful water, perfect white sand beaches. Those are just some of the things that we really enjoyed there. Okay, there was that one. All right.
Okay, right, done with the pictures for now.
Let me go back here real quickly. Okay, when we stopped in Nassau, and you can look at the water over here and see where the waves are breaking really high. It was just rough as a cob outside of the area by the dock, and the captain had some trouble docking because the wind was pushing us away from the dock. It's the first time I've ever seen where you couldn't use the thrusters to push the ship up. He actually had to have a tug help him get up against the dock where they could get tied off. Pam says, beautiful. Yes, it is, Pam.
I love the Bimini water. The whole island is like that all the way around. It's beautiful, and there's beaches just about everywhere on the west side, and some on the north and some on the south.
Yeah, like I said, Bimini is probably our favorite little island. The beach club for
Virgin Voyages.
For Virgin Voyages is super nice. They've got a couple of pools. They've got mats that'll let you get all the way down toward the end of the sand. So it's really nice. Do me a favor, look at your subscribe button. If it is red, if you click it, it'll change colors and you'll be subscribed to the channel. Also, the little bell icon, if you click on that, you'll get notified when we're going to have, or when I share new videos. And Pam says private islands are her favorite.
Yeah, they're nice. They're just not crowded at all.
Okay, so we also stopped there in San Juan, and in San Juan, the one thing that is interesting is the ship didn't have any accessible activities. We couldn't find any information about accessible activities, but what we did manage to do is we talked to a gentleman. Actually, I'll stop sharing there. Talked to a gentleman from the Tourism Bureau, and he was in a wheelchair, and so he said, no, there is some contact information, and he sent us an email after we left. So we're going to start to build that out, and the next time we go to San Juan, we'll try to get you some video of some accessible tours.
And in San Juan, the wheel scooter was very good there. There's actually quite a bit of walking you can do, even with a plain wheelchair. There's a nice sidewalk that goes each way out of the pier that we were at. For a long distance, a lot of people selling local crafts and other things that aren't local crafts, like famous purses and things.
Yeah,
but
they were selling some Romex watches too.
Oh, funny, very funny. Anyway, it was really nice there. There were several ships. I think they had 4 ships there.
Yeah, it was
that day, and it wasn't crowded at all. We were able to get in a restaurant pretty easy. And there's an area where I thought that when Ken was busy, but he was going to come off the ship and eat lunch with me, and I thought, well, I don't know if there's anywhere that's really accessible, but there is to the I guess to the left when you're getting off the ship, to the left on the pier. There's a subway down there and some other restaurants, and I couldn't see how to get there. But then I realized they had some big ramps. Probably someone was, in the way when I was looking. But so we were able to get down and eat comfortably there.
I should have brought one. I bought one. I'd made you a good deal on a Romex there. Okay, so for everybody that wants to enter the drawing, there is where you go. It is, and I'll actually put it. I'm going to try to put it in the chat. We'll see if this works or not. So it'd be.
Copy and paste.
I can't from there. I'm typing, so give me a minute.
Basically, it's our website, travelingwithachair.com/December-18-drawing. Oh, thanks, Wheelie Awesome, for your comment. I'll put that up there. There's someone who has a little bit of help. That's drawing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Really awesome adventures. I appreciate that.
I'll put that on the screen here in a moment.
Okay. That should be the right one. It may not show up in everywhere. It looks like it showed up Facebook. And very good. Okay, Cheryl, you want to show them what we're drawing for?
Oh, okay, yeah. So here is this. It's a beautiful backpack that we got at the trade show recently.
Hold it over
But it's
farther.
so nice, though. We have several of them we can give away. This week we're giving away this one. It opens. This is cushioned here. This part here is cushioned for your computer. It has an opening here. There's another. There's openings everywhere. I can't. Every time I look, I can't. Oh, there's one here. There's another one right here.
Opens at the top.
Yeah, it's like there's lots of. I thought I had it all open, and I don't. Okay, so you can strap something here. This is nice and cushioned for your electronics. A really big section here where you can put some more stuff. Then there's another good size section with and another section. And on the side, there's a cup holder. There's an ID tag, zip and pocket on the side, another cup holder. So you can really. And this would be great for travel. Carry that on and just have everything you want for the plane.
Yeah, and so it is branded NCL and Travel Planners International. I got it at a trade show, but we thought it would be something that you guys could use and would be worth sending to whoever wins the drawing. So the way it's going to work is everybody that registers for the drawing is going to have the opportunity to get put on like a Wheel of Fortune wheel, and then we're gonna
Yep.
we will spin that next week at the start of the show to see who won the prize. And there okay,
Is that one?
should be that one right there.
Yeah, it's basically the www.travelingwithachair.com//December. I mean, rather DEC
Hyphen
18 drawing.
Yeah.
So and the D is capital in December, but the rest is all small.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter. Okay. So if you can't get that open, Pam, let me know and I'll figure out why. Anyway, so after San Juan, we went to Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. Again, there was nothing that was showing for an accessible excursion there, but the port area is really pretty nice. I meant to get a picture, but they had one thing that was kind of cool in the port areas. They had a whole bunch of macaws that were out. They weren't flying anywhere, but they were hanging out in some little, on perches, and some of them were pretty vocal, especially when it started raining. They wanted to tell you what they thought of the rain. They weren't getting wet because they were under the sunshade and under stuff that, under like a thatched roof, but they weren't very happy about the rain. It seemed like either that or they really liked it.
But it was actually a nice, very pretty port with a good bit of shopping in there. Beautiful pool, lots of lounge chairs, a few cabanas, I believe. It was very nice, and it rained on us on and off so much that for a while we sat under one of the roofs at a bar and had a drink while we waited for it to quit raining.
Yeah, we might have pictures from there and pictures of the drink because the bartender was pretty creative. Pam said she got the link to work, so that does work. All right, let me go back. From Puerto Plata, the other thing they're doing is they're building out Puerto Plata more. That is a stop for quite a few cruise lines, so you can expect that to kind of get better as we go forward. After we got back from the Virgin Voyages, we got off as quickly as we could, and it didn't go as fast as we'd wanted, but then
Internet is acting up. Where's your internet?
I seem to have hung up. I don't know why.
Sorry about that. We don't know what happened to the internet there.
might have been my computer. We were doing 2 or 3 things at once in here, so it could have glitched it. But anyway, so we got off. We were off in the car by 8:00, and we had to make a gas stop and a bio break. And by the time we got to parked, luggage unloaded, the car parked, and started up, it was about 1:00 when we started trying to board Norwegian Prima in Port Canaveral. The boarding process there, I was not super impressed with.
Evidently, I was reading on the internet, they said that the computers were down all morning and they didn't get them. So they had to hand process people in. So I guess we had to hand process a couple thousand people onto the ship. It was going pretty slower than we imagined, longer lines than we anticipated. But I guess that happens sometimes.
Well,
everybody made it, I think.
But the challenge is most places you go in and they process you on the first floor, and then they have an elevator or escalators or steps to get you to the second floor. For NCL, you had to go up coming out of the parking garage, or where you got dropped off, you either had to go up basically one level on the ramp, or you had to come out at the second floor of the garage and go across. But the challenge is the ramp's not flat. So if you're pushing a manual wheelchair or you're wheeling yourself in a manual wheelchair, there's lots of places you're going to have to hold yourself on a slope.
Yeah, it goes up and then it levels, and then it goes up and it levels. The first part is just straight up. It's quite a bit if you're by yourself. I take the elevator, and then the other part goes up like this, flattens up and up. And when I was sitting there at the up part, it was really hard to lean forward. It was really uncomfortable in a wheelchair sitting in a tilt. So I asked someone if I could just go up to the top and wait for Ken. So they let me go past them. So yeah. But if you take the elevator from the parking garage, then you'll be on the second floor.
Yeah. But you're still going to have some of that up and down. So I'm not a fan of the boarding process there and the parking arrangement. Getting out of the parking garage was a fairly long process. It took me probably 30 minutes to get out after I got to the car and started out to pick up Cheryl with the scooter and stuff. So I wasn't a fan of that, though I was a fan of the Prima room. We had an ocean view, a standard category ocean view accessible, and that was way aft.
Way aft.
And we could feel the ship moving, but neither Cheryl nor I are bothered by that. In fact, Cheryl would walk in the room and fall asleep. I'd have to catch her and put her on the bed. Maybe not quite that.
It rocks me good. No, it was a beautiful, beautiful, large room, and we did get a 3D video and photos of it. It's but all the rooms, it's more of they're calling it like a large luxury ship, and the luxury ships usually do have more room in their rooms, more space, and this really did. It was amazing. Everybody liked the rooms.
Yeah, it is the biggest room that we've ever had on a cruise ship, and it is designed for longer voyages. The room was almost wasted on a 5-day because we had a couch, the bed, a table and a chair,
2 chairs.
Yeah, a table with 2 chairs, a vanity by the closet, and you could still get anywhere you wanted to in the room with the power chair, and then
the closet had 3 sections and pull out.
Yeah, plenty of cabinet storage. Not a lot of drawers, but a lot of cabinet storage.
And the typical little refrigerator in the cabinet. And the bathroom was plenty accessible with the roll-in shower with the seat that folds down or stays up. It was very nice. And interestingly, the shower head did not go up really, really high. It's really intended for wheelchair. I mean, it went up. I can stand in there and still wash my hair, but it was more like eye level. And
it would come out and you could hand hold it. But then if you're trying to hold onto the rail, you're starting to run out of hands.
But it was pretty good.
I offered to help her, but she turned me down.
Anyway, it was it was lower than normal, which is nice because sometimes you see them and they're so high up and you're like, that's not really useful in a wheelchair or sitting down.
Yeah. But
and the door to the room opens automatically with your card. For the accessible rooms, you just swipe your card over the little box and the door comes open. It takes a minute. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes to close, but it's very slow. And so you have plenty of time to get in and out of your room. It has the little automatic buttons for cleaning the room or being left alone and lights up on the outside of the door. So I really liked that. And the rest of the ship, oh my, you will not have trouble finding an accessible restroom on that ship. On definitely deck 6, 7, and 8, and even on 17 there's several. I mean, so it was the bathrooms were all very, very up. I mean, just they're really up to scale where they need to be for accessibility. And I give them 5 stars on that.
Yeah, and we'll come back to that in just a minute too. Really awesome. I appreciate that. I didn't look. I had one inaccessible. They didn't have one available, and so I just took an inside. Well, I won't say they didn't have one. I took an ocean view. It was a trade show, and it was a package deal, and I'd had to pay to move up to a suite or something, and I'm way too thrifty to do that.
And I don't think that really for space you didn't really need it. I mean, it would have been nice to have a balcony, but it was, and we were, but we were in trade show meetings almost all day, so balcony would have been almost wasted.
Yeah, I would say one of the things that was really cool about the Prima too, but is that all of the doors were automatic. I don't think I ever ran into. Or let's put there might be one or two that are manual, but they're not hard.
Sid, two of the smaller venues, Sid
Norman's,
and the one right across from it.
Oh yeah, those are manual doors, but they're not like the outside doors that are sometimes you have to try to pull really hard to open. There, everything was. I thought in basic, with one exception, we'll talk about that. With one exception, I thought the accessibility on this ship was as good as I've seen on any ship. Like I said, it was really, really good. The exception being on the first day and a couple of times later, the buffet was a challenge for us because the buffet is fairly tight, and if there's a lot of people eating in there, it's going to be really tough to get through and get food in a wheelchair. Also,
because what they had was they wanted to have like traffic going 2 ways in front of the balcony. I mean, in front of the buffet. And so they had those little like posts with those bands that they put. So like they could like separate you, but that just made it really hard and crowded and impossible for a wheelchair to get around. And so I fussed about it to several people. And I noticed the last day we were on, they had them set aside, and I don't know if they're just going to leave them off. There was a lot of people on this ship, I thought, with scooters and wheelchairs, and I just stayed out of the buffet after the first day. It wasn't worth the hassle.
And then at lunch, there's a kind of a food court area that's a lot like what's on Virgin Voyages, but the difference is there's not nearly the table space that the one downstairs with the iPad order. Indulge. It's called the Indulge Food Court.
It's actually pretty big. It was just that I think the thing with our trip on the Prima is when you have 400 or 500 people all having to eat lunch at the same hour because you're in something till 12 and you're in something at 1. I mean, that's really hard for the ships. But I think overall, the Indulge food was excellent. It's a huge, huge menu. I even took photographs of the entire menu on that iPad. It just goes on forever, and it's really good food. You can sit outside or inside. But the only thing we found that was unusual was they have there's tables with regular chairs and the iPads, and you order from your iPad. They bring it to you, and that's fine. You can order everything that way. But if you go to a bar, they also have bars where they're preparing food, where you can watch them prepare the food. And if you sit at one of those bars, that's the only food you can order is from there. So almost no one was sitting at a lot of the bars because they wanted to order from a variety of the sections there. And so I think if they update those iPads and let you order from anywhere at the bar, then that would be more suitable, I think.
Yeah, and Wheelie, I agree with your sentiment there. We've been on other ships where we could get 4 people in a balcony, and I can understand the challenge you're facing there. I don't know whether 2 rooms is more expensive than a suite. It might be that upgrading to the suite would be a better choice for you, but I don't know the answer to that.
And I don't know if the accessible rooms have a like that inner door for connecting. Ours did not. And it seems like at least one of them or 2 of them on the ship would, but you'd probably have to book it pretty early.
Yeah. Then one of the things during the trade show, we talked to reps from all the major cruise lines, and everybody's got new ships coming. The next couple of years, there's going to be a lot of very interesting hardware coming. The Viva will be out, I think, this year. Then there's 2 more behind that. That's a Prima class with Norwegian. behind Virgin Voyages Resilient Lady will start sailing in the spring. I think in the spring of next year, but she's coming pretty quickly. The
Royal Caribbean has 5 new ships in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
The Icon class, or maybe even the next class after that. I can't remember. It was anyway. It's amazing what they're putting on some of these ships and what they're doing with some of these ships.
Princess is going to have a new Sun Princess. She's going to start sailing in the Med in February of 2024. Obviously, Cunard's got I think it's Princess Anne or the Queen Anne. I don't remember coming out. Not sure where she's going. I was looking a little bit today. So there's a lot of really exciting things. So I have a question, and do me a favor, please let me know just one way or the other. Cheryl and I are starting to plan out some adventures coming up. In January, we're doing just a short cruise close. February looks like we're going to be on Holland America. There's some really good pricing. I think we're going to the ABC Islands. It may be just Bonaire and Curacao. But like I said, there's some extremely good pricing. So if you're interested and want to go on a short notice cruise, we've got that coming up. Later in the year, we're going to do some other cruises. I'd love to know if you'd like to sail with us, and if you would, where you'd like to go.
And we're going to be on March. We'll be on an MSC for 4 days with our granddaughter.
Yeah. So if you want to meet our granddaughter, join us on the MSC. We'll be on the Vina out of Miami. That's, again, very inexpensive cruise if you're close.
See what MSC is like. It would give you a good taste of that.
Yeah.
And then we always have Alaska in our sights. We're trying to work on something for Alaska too.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Sorry about that. I have some connections at NCL. I'll pass these comments on. I do think that's important that they're aware that that is a problem. Excuses, Pam. No, I understand. So, but we're looking at 2024 too. What I would say is I kind of intrigued by the Sun Princess, the chance to be on a new ship, and we've never been to the Mediterranean. They're running 10-day itineraries right now. They're not bad. I mean, they're not giving them away, but
and then also in the industry, we call this season coming up like late December through March is called wave season. That means the cruises will have some of their best sales, and then they'll kind of, after that season, it'll go down a little bit again, and then they'll have another one later. But so this is the time when a lot of you really need to look at some places you'd like to go and booking while they're on sale. Not that you have to travel necessarily by March, but they just have a lot of sales in the next 3 months. So you don't put it aside and look at it in April. Miss out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so a lot of if you're interested in going, part of what we get will be what we do will be based on feedback we get from the audience. We've got, like I said, a lot of things. Okay, so I got a couple to show. Pam says she wants to go to Alaska. Everybody that's ever been to Alaska wants to go to Alaska again. I tell people that if I had to choose one cruise the rest of my life, it'd be Alaska. I mean, I love a lot of these other places, but Alaska is just incredible. Pam said she can do next year, and really awesome. I will let me reach out and see if I can find their ADA compliance officer. I can I know the compliance officers at the other cruise lines, and they'll probably know who's the ADA compliance officer at NCL, and see if I can put a little pressure that way. I don't want to say raise a stink, because you get more ants or more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. So I will try to be polite, but see if I can arouse their interest in making some of those cabins available somehow.
Oh yes, and also for single travelers, we heard of some good single rates on some of the cruise ships. Some of the cruise lines do not have a higher single rate, and some of them just offer that from time to time. So I don't know if you've ever considered that. That's another thing to watch for during wave season.
Yeah. For those that are interested in trying Virgin Voyages, There's a really good sale on right now. I shared a link in the Facebook group, and you can find it. I shared it in the Virgin Voyages groups I'm a part of. But you can get some really good deals. If you didn't see it and you're interested, just DM me. That will always work.
And there's one thing I want to say about Virgin Voyages. I think they're really on the cutting edge of fitting in with changes in society. I'm not talking about inclusivity, but rather like the way they treat their employees, the staff on the ship. The staff on the ship, they use the same amenities that you do, the same shampoo, conditioner. They have the high quality stuff. They have nicer, bigger rooms. If you talk to them, they'll tell you how much. A lot of them, of course, were in other cruise lines and moved over. And it's nice when you have the staff is really happy to be there and comfortable. And so that's something that I think that might influence other cruise lines in the future. And so you might find it more comfortable than you would think. And so don't keep your mind open about Virgin.
Yeah. Well, I would say with Virgin, the employees are probably the happiest employees you'll see. I mean, I never saw anybody that wasn't happy. You know, everybody that's on the ship loves being on the ship. You know, they get free internet, which is very rare, more solo rooms than any other cruise line. There's just so many ways that they do things. And I would say, even if you want to go with us and you don't want, and you have a travel agent, book through your travel agent, and just, we'll let you know where we're going to be in, because we love to see people we know, people that know us.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, yep. That'd be a challenge if it was wet. Yeah.
I can't imagine that. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do much in Bimini. I had good internet on my phone there, so we were working really hard on trying to get caught up.
And we've seen the island a couple times.
Yeah.
And we love it. We would love to have spent the day at the
But yeah, we were also getting
club.
off the next day, and we didn't want to have to try to deal with wet clothes. So we walked. I'll have some 3D video walking down the path, or the gang, or I don't want to say it, the causeway, the pier toward land. The water's incredible. You could see tarpon and some kind of like long skinny fish. I think they might be pipefish.
Oh, and since the last time we were there, now in Bimini, right as we got off the ship, on the right side, they have lounge chairs and umbrellas and everything for the public there. So at first we thought, that must be for the crew of the ship. But then Ken went and asked, he said, no, it's for everybody. And it wasn't crowded at all. Most people went to the beach club because that's what Virgin does. But if you didn't want to go very far, you can see right there.
Yeah. So, okay. So the roasted pig was Wheelie's favorite. I thought the food was good on the island. The only downside I saw on the island, is that there are flies, but anywhere else you have food out in the open like that, you're going to have flies. So it was the same way on Carnival's private island. And there's just not much you can do about that. But like I said, I love the island. I thought it was great. I thought it has, like I said, a tremendous beach, lots of space. So it's
and the
really
beach club
nice.
has a really nice pool.
Okay, so I'm going to put up so everybody can get another look at it to register for the drawing. There it is. So, and if you register, when you register, you'll get an email offering you the chance to get a second slot on the wheel of prizes. So that and that's just to complete a survey for us. So we're just trying to figure out how we can do a better job of taking care of our audience, the people that give us your time, and we appreciate it so much.
Oh, and I want to say, last week we were trying to talk about our trip on the Rhapsody, the 7-island trip. And I will say this real quick. If you need accessibility, then Grenada, Barbados, and Martinique are all accessible. They have several accessible van companies that can lift your wheelchair with you in it. Nice restaurants, accessible bathrooms in those restaurants. And those of the 7 islands they went to, those were the 3 most accessible, and they were very nice places.
And Pam, I appreciate it. Your kind words as always. Thank you. Anyway, so we'll let everybody go. We appreciate you giving us your time again. And we'll see everybody next week. We'll be home now until almost the end of January. And we will have some interesting videos coming. I've got a bunch of 360 video from a lot of places. I rode the go-karts. I'll have 360 video of me riding the go-kart on Prima.
And then and the drawing, we'll announce the winner next week, because people who watch this week, if they missed it, we don't want to penalize somebody who had to work tonight. So you can we'll announce it next week, and if they watch it during the week, they can still enter.
Yeah, you can enter up until midnight on next Saturday. So that gives everybody the opportunity to register. And again, thanks so much. We'll see everybody next week.
Bye. Thanks for coming.